Do you feel trapped by your addiction or what you think is an addiction? Because there's just too many of us that identify as something that we're not. So which is it? Is it a substance abuse issue or is it just a feeling? Hey, my name's Kohdi. I'm here to answer all your questions about sobriety. Is calling yourself an alcoholic just a coping mechanism? Just because it's really difficult for you to say no, you chalk your entire life up to being an actual alcoholic? Or is that something that you've identified with because it's easy? Like, have you been diagnosed as like an alcoholic or an addict? Or have you just self-diagnosed because you're struggling? Now remember, just because you drink alcohol a lot, enjoy partying, or have a really high tolerance, that doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. Once you start identifying as an alcoholic by saying, I am an alcoholic, guess what your brain's gonna do? It is going to find every single reason why that is absolutely true, even without a clinical diagnosis. Whatever comes after the phrase, I am, you are programming your subconscious to prove that true. Even if it's not true, your brain's gonna find reasons why it is. Example, I'm horrible at doing the dishes. If I believe that, my brain is gonna look for all the reasons why I suck at doing the dishes. And then that feeds into my bias on why I suck at doing dishes. The phrase I am, it's a definitive statement that defines you. You would never identify as something that you're not. You do that long enough, and even something that is completely untrue, you will believe. And that's not your fault. We're all conditioned to find proof that our thoughts are accurate. So I want you to honestly assess yourself and decide whether or not you have a real addiction or you're just identifying as an alcoholic. And just because people think you're an alcoholic doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. Just because every time people see you, you've got a beer in your hand, that also doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. But you know if you have a problem with alcohol, right? Alcohol is meant to be enjoyed. And if you enjoy it a lot, that also doesn't mean you're an alcoholic. Identifying as an alcoholic also means you're identifying with the social bias that comes along with alcoholism. Are you all of the things that people think an alcoholic is? Or are you in an environment that makes alcohol seem like a pretty viable solution more often than not? If we keep identifying as something that we're not, then we're just gonna conform to everybody else's expectations, and it doesn't matter what we do. They're always gonna see us as an alcoholic, so might as well just keep drinking, right? So if alcohol isn't actively improving your quality of life, then it's just making it worse. And to fight that feeling of it being as bad as you perceive it to be, you need more alcohol. And that's not the answer. It is imperative that you practice drinking less alcohol. Don't just quit, practice drinking less. And remember, happy people don't give a about what other people think. It's definitely time for you to stop caring what other people think and start giving a shit about your own opinion. Follow for more, and if you could use support, there's a link on my page for you.